Hello, everybody, and it's Friday. Welcome to the Tardis Zone, and this is the Tardis Zone Talks. I hope you're all doing very well indeed. And we've got a few people in the chat right now, so I'll just say hello to those guys in the chat. We've got Garbage and we've got Brisk in the chat at the moment. We've got 6 people watching here live on YouTube. Obviously, as we go on, the viewers should go up. And we are also live on Facebook and Twitter, folks. So, yes, obviously, this is where we talk about Doctor Who with me co-host, who will be joining me very soon indeed. But obviously, we'll be talking about the new photographs of Shooty Gatwa. Obviously, I didn't get to show you guys the video. I was going to do a musical video, but we'll try throw up all the photos here on this stream now, and we will talk about that. We're going to talk positively on the channel here about Doctor Who. Obviously, if you follow me on Twitter, we've been doing separate Twitter streams, and you can check me out there on Twitter. So if you don't follow me on Twitter, go and follow me on Twitter, because we will be doing some different, just exclusive streams on Twitter. So yeah, as I said, we're just going to wait for Christian to pop in. So while we're waiting, I suppose I might as well start getting the photographs ready so everybody can see them. But I hope everybody is doing well. It's the weekend, of course, so time for everybody to sit back and relax and enjoy the evening. So let's see now if I can go up now. No. So I have been sent screenshots of the Doctor Who magazine, but I refuse to read it because RTD is letting people absolutely run amok. And I am not, as you know, I'm not happy at the moment. But there is some news. So apparently, right, according to TV Zone, they're saying it's pure speculation. I'm going to say straight off the bat, I don't think this is true. But apparently, according to them, Series 14 will probably return back to Saturdays, which we did talk about. But the 60th specials apparently are going to be shown on Sunday nights. The possible dates are the 12th, the 19th, and the 26th of November. Now, I personally think that is a bad idea to put the 60th. I know it's the 60th and people will still tune in, but on a Sunday night, I think you should really capitalize on Saturday night prime time if you want to do something like that. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of that. As I said, personally speaking, I think it should just go back to Saturday nights. And also, Russell T. Davis has hinted that they might be going to San Diego Comic-Con. Now, this is something we spoke about on the channel last year, but there are some people out there pretending that they actually got sources and they actually are actually breaking this news. They're saying that they've got source, that they had sources. They've never been reliable, but yeah, all of a sudden they are. No, this is what's happened here. Those guys have speculated because it would be stupid for RTD not to do San Diego Comic-Con or any of the Comic-Cons that are going to be coming up. to be quite honest. So it's only fan speculation, but they're actually packaging it as, leaked information. It isn't leaked information. They're speculating, because I spoke about this last year on my channel when we did receive that information. So that's the difference. These guys are all speculating. We actually got source information to say that this was going to happen, and we actually had a few people on that confirmed it too. Now, there's some interesting photographs that have come up. There's my co-host now, so we'll just bring him in there now. But we do have some interesting photographs from Shooty filming. Now, do you remember I showed you a little bit of footage? I obviously had Charlotte on, and we were talking New Who's on. And then at the end of it, we obviously showed you a little video, a couple of little videos. And there was one particular video where he was standing outside a house and he did something mad with his hands. And then he pulled something out of his pocket. And I said, well, that's his sonic screwdriver. Well, it wasn't his sonic screwdriver. And apparently he was saluting the TARDIS, according to someone in the comment section on that video. Someone says that it's being speculated that he was actually saluting the TARDIS. But we do have an image of this device that he has in there. So is this replacing the screwdriver, or is this just some mad gizmo that the TARDIS either created for him or he created himself? So I'm going to show you this photograph of this device, and it should be up on screen any second now. So there it is. That does not look like a screwdriver to me. It actually looks like a remote control or TV remote.
Sonic Lance,
as Americans would say, clicker or remote. But there it is. Christian, any ideas, any thoughts, mate? I don't know what the hell that is.
It could be something that you just picked up, and that's and I would think that the screwdriver would have like a cylindrical shaped thing until Capaldi had his sonic sunglasses. So anything goes at this moment, and I think I'm a little bit what does it do now? What? That was one of the things that I was kind of like, no, the Sonic can do anything now. She just pulls it out and she knows the weather, the temperature, what the conditions are on the interstate and everything like that. And I'm just like, it needed to have its limitations. I don't know. It could be just...
it's interesting, isn't it?
It could be a device. I have no idea.
Yeah, because there's a forward picture of it. Hold on. I'll actually go full screen here on this, so you can get a closer look at it. But here it is from a distance, and it seems very, very, very thin, whatever it is. So it's definitely not a screwdriver. But remember, we have had sonic pens in Doctor Who, and as Chris has rightly pointed out, we have had, the sonic glasses, which I wasn't a fan of, I've got to be honest. But as someone in the chat there says, they would be in favor of phasing out the screwdriver. I'm the same, Brisk. I actually thought this would be the opportunity, because I think there's been an over-reliance over the years on the sonic screwdriver, personally. So yeah, that was seen, because obviously fans have been there watching all this filming happen. I'm sorry, there's some drama going on outside. So
well, it's kind of like
shouting.
It's kind of like where the Weeping Angels fall. I liked them when they only could tap you, kill you to death by sending you back in time. Now they can snap your neck. They can shut off the lights. They can time travel. I'm like, geez, Louise. They can, if they hit you a second time, you die. I'm just like, I just liked it when they had one simple thing to do, and the Sonic was, like I said, your cell phone was now the sonic screwdriver. It could tell you everything that was going on. It could give you the sports scores. It could tell you, meta. And it's like, I just like the old days when it was just, I understand that some people were saying, listen, he's in the TARDIS by himself. He's probably tinkering with it, and he goes on an adventure and then goes, it would have been really cool if I was able to do X when I was, was having this time. So, it's kind of like, what was it, the Swiss Army knife. At some point, you're just like, okay, I had it long enough. Maybe I should do this, or have this capability. And he has the ability to add it. But there you go. There's our new Doctor.
So there he is in full get up there. And I have to actually say, as I said, this costume was always going to look a bit better when he's kind of moving around. And now that you actually see that, I actually like this. But again, he has whatever this device is in his pocket there. You can actually see it there. It's either the device that he had in his hand, or it's actually his mobile phone. Yeah, I'm going to say it again. They're Jodie Whittaker's trousers. I don't care what anybody says. He's just taken the suspenders off them. They're exactly the same colour. I don't think he's changed the trousers at all, folks, to be quite honest with you. Obviously, on Jodie, they were a little bit shorter. Maybe he's taken the seam down, but they're definitely her trousers, man, because they're the same. They're exact same colour. I'll show you more photographs. They're definitely her trousers, man.
Is this?
Which I don't, I don't mind. I don't care because they look better on him than they ever did on her. But no, I'm just going to be honest about it. It's the truth. That's how I feel about it.
Well, they were high risers on her. Even her altar, the Joe Martin Doctor was poking at her wear, being, I forgot, it was like rainbows and walking through water or something like that. It was just like, yeah, I understand. One of the things about the Doctor's outfit, it was supposed to be non-intrusive. Like, it wasn't supposed to be like the Sixth Doctor, where he walks into the room, even though it was supposed to emulate his character as far as the Doctor's concerned. It was supposed to be just like the TARDIS. He would wear something that he could blend in anywhere. And I had to see this outfit in
Well, I'm going to share more photographs, but you're right. I think it's good that we're actually getting to see this costume in the daytime as well. Because remember, okay, we did get to see him in that little video with Millie Gibson in the car park. But still, it wasn't the greatest video. And then the images that we did get then eventually, remember, they were in the dark. So you couldn't really see this costume. But here it is now. Here he is actually standing in front of the TARDIS, basically facing the camera. And again, as I said to Charlotte the other day, this Doctor seems to me he's going to be a rather emotional Doctor. And again, you can see there's more emotion on his face here. But here is the costume now in full view now. I'm still not sure about the short though. I've got to be honest. But the jacket, I'm loving the jacket, and obviously Whittaker's trousers there. But there it is there, a proper look at the costume.
No, is this from one episode, or is this really him prime? And this is going forward the outfit? Because he's doing that one episode, which is the 60s episode.
Where he's wearing a different suit. He changed his outfit, but so did David Tennant. Remember that? David Tennant used to change into black tie, and that was actually that was a bad idea, because every time he wore the suit, obviously, he was on Titanic when he wore that bleeding suit, and look what happened. Every time he wore the black tie, same with the Rise of the Cybermen, that two-parter, he was wearing the black tie there as well. But he seems to be rather emotional Doctor. There's the 60th photographs as well. You see him, he's actually distraught in one of them, and Millie Gibson's character, Ruby Tuesday, is obviously consoling him, because he's obviously devastated about something. So again, there's the costume in action, as they say. And again, I like the length of the jacket. I think he's gonna do fine. It'll be obviously up to RTV.
It might be the case, Briss, because if you really think about it, I don't remember like Capaldi having an outfit prime. He had like the two outfits. One, what I call, the sleek no nonsense, which was the first season, and then the second time where there was grunge You know, he looked like he was wearing his pajamas with a coat, and I was just like, he was wearing like Second Doctor trousers, and I don't know. We remember that what was it? David Tennant. He would switch from blue to brown depending upon if he was time traveling. So if I'm not mistaken, somebody can correct me. If it was brown, he was going back in time. If it was blue, he's going forward in time.
Yeah, it was something like that. You're
Something
right.
like that.
You're
So,
right. He
but it was
just
still
changed the top.
consistent with the pinstripe thing going on.
Yeah.
So
Interesting. There is obviously a bit of footage that you didn't see. So this was the video I was actually talking about, folks. I know some of you have already seen this, but Christian may not have seen this. This is why I didn't really want to be talking Doctor Who when we're doing the New Who streams. I like to keep them separate because I don't want people thinking I'm repeating myself. But obviously, Christian wasn't here, so
well, there might have been people who didn't come in yet into the thing. So
just bear with me because me computer is an absolute joke here right now. So there you go.
He's sonicking. Okay, with
yeah,
this,
but watch his hands, right? So he does the sonic, right?
right.
But watch before it. So he does so. Watch, he puts his hand on his head. He does it so quick. See, so he's saluting the TARDIS apparently, and then takes out the screwdriver. Why would he be saluting the TARDIS? But apparently that's what he's doing, because if you see the photographs, the TARDIS is to the side here. If you watch this video, the TARDIS is actually literally just to the side here. So
could he be saluting somebody that's next to the TARDIS?
Or he could be saluting, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, who would the Doctor salute though? Brigadier?
Brigadier, it could be, we know
Kate
that
Stewart.
Kate's coming back, and you know he's not supposed to like soldiers.
But it's a weird hand action as well. I was like, oh, he's doing the whole Jodie Whittaker thing where he puts his hand down to use the screwdriver, but then lifts it back up again. You know, it just. But yeah, I don't know. He's definitely used the screw. Now there is a rumor that in the next issue or somewhere down the line in the comic book, the comic strip that they're doing. The screwdriver apparently is going to be revealed there first of all, which I think is a stupid idea. But there you go.
I'm looking at it intently. I don't see. Maybe that little box was, because if you look at, I wish we could freeze it or something. If you notice something, you don't see anything protruding from his hand.
No, you don't. You're absolutely
so it could be. And if you notice, it looks like he's holding something, for a better term, fatter than a cylindrical screwdriver. There you go. Right there. There's nothing protruding out of his hand.
Exactly.
And it looks like his hand would be, it looks like it's holding something that would be wider than that. I could be completely wrong, and you can't see it, and all the pixels are a little screwed up. But there's nothing protruding, and his hand seems to be holding something a little bit wider. Something probably on the scale that,
and if he's
like
doing
Missy
that
had.
action. If he's doing that action, Christian, that would suggest that he is using some sort of sonic device on the door.
Right.
Like, what would he be doing with it? You know what I mean? It doesn't. I reckon. Do you know what? This could be the new screwdriver. What we just showed you, folks, and it's not a screwdriver. Maybe it's a sonic pad or something like that, or sonic something. It'll be given a name, but maybe he's actually gotten rid of the screwdriver and replaced it with something.
Something like that, because
remember Paul, he had the glasses, didn't he? Then, so Christian, it could be the case, couldn't it, that he's replaced the screwdriver with this object?
It could be, and one of the things that I kind of challenge, at least it made sense with Capaldi, when he had the sunglasses on, he could see like a virtual like computer come up on screen. When it came to like the 11th and the when it came to the 11th and the 13th Doctor, they would look at their sonic as if they were reading something. I said, what the heck are you reading?
Are they unit soldiers there? Because if this is being filmed, right, because there's the mic there, right? So that's the mic to catch up the sound. And then there's these two blokes here. One has a hat on.
Oh, so he's saluting. Yeah, he's possibly walking. So maybe this was a scene where he walked past them. They just completely ignored him, and then he just salutes them.
Mm. So there you go. That could be so. We could be wrong, of course, but this is what I love about little videos like this. You know, some people say, "Oh, you know, why are fans spoiling stuff?" But in fairness, they're not unless they're not really stuff like this. Now, obviously, if they're there and they're giving away major plot, all them, yes, we all have a right to give out because you remember a few years ago, some idiot filmed the new Daleks on the bridge. Do you remember? And that was leaked all over the shop.
Mhm.
And there was Chibs wasn't happy about that at all. But I want to show you some of these 60th photographs because there is a couple of interesting ones, and I'm after being sent loads of these 60th photographs or 60 the 60th style Doctor Who episode that they're doing, the 60s vibe, as they say. So I want to show you some of these photographs because some of these photographs are very interesting. And I want to get your opinion on the suit because I've seen some people complain about the suit, and I just don't get it. I actually like this suit. So I don't know. I don't know why everybody is. There's a few people now that I have seen moaning about the suit. So hopefully it's up on your screen shortly. As I said, everything's running slow on this bloody computer. So there you go. There's the first photograph there, and he's actually holding her hand there, and he looks quite distraught there, and she looks quite distraught. Now maybe I don't know if this is they're not filming and they've just been. It's a long day, and someone just snapped a photograph of them. But I reckon this is actually filming. So, but you can see there he looks quite distraught in that photograph. And she looks quite sad, devastated. Something obviously is like happening here. And it's interesting. You can, you know, photographs are very very good to analyze because you know you look at their faces, you know, you can analyze how they're feeling at that
Mhm.
time. I think rocking the suit, I have to be honest, he does look distraught there, and she does look like she's sad. So I don't know what's went on here, but she's rocking the clothes as well. I have to say the two of them look sharp in my opinion. Christian, what do you think of this photograph, and what do you think of their face? Can you see their faces there? He does look quite distraught, the doctor.
Yeah, it's well, I'm going with Brisk. And I said Brisk. I gotta go the opposite way, Brisk. I think he actually looks good in the pinstripe. Can you put that hair back? Something
The
looked
afro,
off. It
I'll
looked
put another
wigged.
one.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
put another one up. You'll get a better look. Now here, this is the photograph I'm talking about. This is the one that I was analysing with Queen Charlotte. Um, and this is a very interesting one because, as I said, that obviously that photograph, the first one I showed you, is obviously before after the incident, and this is when they were sitting down before they walked out. But as you can see, when you look at this photograph, he is absolutely devastated about something. And she's obviously consoling him there. And there's his hair. There's his hair. And I think it's bleeding grey. I love it. I love
I
the
kind of
suit,
like
man.
I like the big hair. I just for whatever reason when you showed me the other picture, it didn't look like it. He grew it. It looked like it's a wig, but I could be completely wrong. That was the image of the other picture. So I don't know if I could say this on here. I don't. Somebody had mentioned about the pants that he's wearing in that particular picture. Um, that it was a tribute to John Pertwee syndrome. And that's all I'm going to say. In that particular picture where he's sitting down, just like, oh my god, now I can't unsee that.
There you go. There's another one. So she's obviously something has happened in this scene with the series of photographs that we're watching, and there he is. He's looking at her there, and she's holding his hand, and he's holding her hand. And I think that pinstripe suit is classy. I'm sorry, but this is something I would actually wear. See, before I went casual, because I worked as a chef, as you all know, I wore fancy clothes, I wore suits, I wore, you know what I mean? That's the way. Actually, my mum and dad used to think I was crazy because I lived in a working class area, but like I was wearing fucking pinstripe suits and fancy suits because I could afford them at the time because I was making bank. I'm not gonna lie, when you're working as a chef, I was making bank. So
Well,
yeah,
man, that was the
I love it.
expectation. The whole idea of having a uniform or an outfit or a costume is so that people not only dignify that you work there, so they're not walking around, like what is it? My favorite place is Best Buy, and somebody just happens to be wearing a blue shirt, and you ask them where the so and so aisle is, and I'm like, no, I'm wearing a blue shirt. I don't work here. I understand the difference between feeling comfortable and then looking presentable, and it seems to be a very
Yeah,
fine line between the two. And the business that I work for now, they got rid of the ties, which is so great because when you live
yeah.
somewhere like Florida, ties do not work. They
That's what I
just
mean. But that's what, even in school, like when you're young, you wear a uniform, and that was the whole point of school. School was to get you ready for the real world. That's why you went to school at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, and you went home at 3 or 4, whatever it was. It depended on what school you were on. Some schools had longer hours than others, but it was to set you up. I think there's nothing wrong with getting dressed up. But again, either the doctor Ruby have either had an argument here because he has his hands up here. She's looking at him there, and maybe this is why they probably did, because the doctor always seems to have an argument with a companion. Remember, Christopher Eccleston's doctor had an argument in the end of the world with Rose Tyler, and then when what you call it when David Tennant's doctor came along, she had an argument. Rose Tyler had an argument with the doctor, and the same then when Martha Jones came along, sure, they had an argument. Every doctor has an argument with their companion, is what I'm trying to say. So this could be it, where they're having an argument. Maybe someone said something to shoot his doctor or something, and they end up having an argument about it or something like that.
it
But
doesn't look
it
like
does seem very.
if you're looking at the four pictures from my perspective, it looks like no, we don't think there's going to be any romance warped eyebrow. We hope not.
Oh
I think we're
no, I
done with
don't
that
know. I
for
think
years to
he's
come.
holding her hand just like he held Rose's hand. I don't think there's anything romantic in this relationship between the doctor and
I think it
and
looks
Ruby.
like the
But of
doctor
course, the
is
scans will ship them. But you know what I mean. We can ignore that. But there's definitely no romance here.
I think what's happening is if I'm going by those photos that you just showed me, it looks like, and this is where the companions come into play. It looks like, oh, well, this one might change my mind. But it looks like the doctor is being triggered by something.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
she's not getting it. And that's the thing with the companions
I
is that we're
agree with you.
seeing
I
through
think
them.
that's what it is. I think he's brought her to the 60s. And of course, we know because he is the first black doctor, black male doctor, I should say, right?
Mhm.
Because everybody, like, even though I don't class the fugitive doctor as a doctor, I do think that Joe Martin was done dirty by Chris Chibnall, to be quite honest with you. She did have some screen presence, and she did, for the few minutes she was on screen, I thought she was better than Aunt and Jodie gave us, playing the doctor. But I reckon I reckon, look, it's going to be dealt with, folks, whether you like it or not, right? I reckon there's a situation, a racist situation that happens, and maybe, as you said, Christian, she doesn't get it. Ruby doesn't quite get it, and then they end up having a heated argument. But then, obviously, as a doctor and companion always do, then they find that connection. You know what I mean? They find that common ground, and they're able to move on from it.
I don't know if this is going to be a racist thing, though. I can't see anything in the episode, at least from what I see. He's just wearing an outfit that fits right with the time. This may completely be absolutely nothing. What he was looking at, maybe a friend got hurt. I mean, if unit's supposed to be around at that time, or no, units in the other one. I was thinking something else, but he's back in the '60s. We don't know exactly we're in the '60s, and I don't know if it's going to be an episode about race. It could have just been like a friend died, and she's
Could
not.
be, but
She's trying.
but you see, the thing about it is, I think I think he will do it to just get it out of the way, so he can just move on then to tell him. So I'm not saying it's going to be the focus of the episode, but I think it will be brought up in some way. It just won't be made. If the difference is Chris Chibnall was doing this, it'd be completely done completely differently, and it'd be in your face, just like Rosa Parks was, right? Rosa was, right? This is RTD. There's no way that it's going to be the focus of the story, but I reckon there will be an element of it that will probably address it. But you know what I mean? Be just fleeting, like he did with John Barrowman's character, Captain Jack, when he talked about him being also attracted to men and stuff. Basically, a 52nd century man, whatever, will jump on that and sort of thing. And that's the way it'd be dealt with. You know what I mean? It won't be. He won't be. He'll take it seriously.
It won't be in your face. It won't be shoved in your face.
Exactly.
It will support the story as opposed to this is a big part of the story. Yeah, it's the same thing with Rosa Parks.
Yeah,
which wasn't. Well, I think it could have been. I think it could be executed better. There were people who were like me saying, like, you know what, we shouldn't have had Krasko. We should have just had Ryan just end up on the bus and accidentally bump Rosa from the seat that she was supposed to be taking. Krasko was just garbage as far as I'm concerned. Even I didn't even realize this, but just learned this recently. Rosa Parks wasn't the first.
I know.
There was an actual. Yeah, that would have been an excellent episode to say, hey, it wasn't Rosa, it was somebody else.
Yeah, there was a girl, I think it was 6 months before, but because she had a criminal record and she was she happened to be a single mother, they didn't think that she was the right person. You know, the way they have a poster child sort of thing. They didn't think she was the right one. So then obviously when Rosa did it, and she was only arrested for protesting, but nothing too major or embarrassing, they then went along with Rosa. But that is the truth. You are right. And that's what I hate, you know what I mean? History kind of gets skewed a little bit. There are a few tales, and it's only recently that a lot of people have found out the truth about that. But Lee, when this episode dropped, I mean, he was the one that actually told me about this, because I didn't know. And then I went back and I actually read about it, and I was absolutely gobsmacked. But it is a shame that the original girl that refused to give up her seat wasn't recognised in the episode. Even if you were still going to do a Rosa episode, that's fine. But I agree, there should have been some sort of acknowledgement. But history always gets good, and there's always propaganda. You know what I mean? And it's the propaganda that always what everybody knows. So it's got the whole thing with the space race as well. You know what I mean? Now it's came out that didn't actually even have the money to do all the stuff that for this space race, that they never had any intention of going to the moon at all. They just wanted to bankrupt the US, because obviously the Russians and the Americans weren't getting on. So, and that you had the Cold War. So that's what's coming out now, that this was all that the Russians never had the technical ability back in the early 50s and 60s to actually get someone to the moon. So I mean, throughout our time, history has been skewed, even in my own country. It happens everywhere. But look, I mean, as I said, I just this episode. This is the episode that actually is going to worry me because it can go both ways, Christian. Because we've seen what it's like when it does go the other way, and it's not good. I don't think RTD will bash us over the head with it, but then I just we're all speculating now at this stage because we don't know what RTD is going to do because
But when people come out and these social medias I see occasionally, they come out and they point the they use all the bad terms.
Yeah.
When the first kiss came up between Jack and the Doctor, I heard absolutely nothing. Nobody went ooh ah ooh, or said, "Oh, that's gross, disgusting." Whovians just went, "Oh, that's a thing."
Yeah. Yeah.
He ends up kissing Rose, and he ends up kissing the Doctor, and this is where I really am disappointed in people who don't understand other people specifically. They just want to take a group of people and just go, you're all these bad terms. And I'm like, dude, we've been doing this before you even got here. There was a guy named John Nathan Turner who saw the oversee of 4 doctors. There was a director named Waris Hussein who was the first director and a first producer woman. It's in our bloodline that there is diversity and inclusion. It may not have run the way it
that's
should
the thing,
be.
though. I hate that whole narrative, Christian, that Doctor Who. It's the same with Star Trek as well. I think it's disingenuous, to be honest. You're right. Doctor Who was very diverse back in the day. Remember as well the 10th Planet, right? He had the first black person in Doctor Who.
Yeah.
I mean, Doctor Who and Star Trek, why are they so popular? I tell you, it wasn't just because of the stories, right? It's because they broke barriers. They broke those boundaries. They didn't conform to the rest of TV. They're the ones that changed the face of TV. And that's why I don't like when I hear these people in the fandom saying that Doctor Who needs to be more diverse. I mean, you can't get more diverse than Doctor Who. I mean, the current showrunner. I mean, come on. It can't be. You've got diversity behind the camera, working on the show, and the cast. And they're still not happy. I mean, I heard someone was talking about the fact that Shooty was the Doctor, and that while it was a good step in the right direction, they feel that there should be more diversity behind the camera and the production crew. And I was like, and I did, and I responded, and I don't normally react anymore, but I had to respond and say, look, Jesus Christ, you have gotten 2 female doctors in the last few years, right? Now you have a black guy playing the Doctor, and you're still not satisfied. I says, if the show is not good enough for you,
there's got to be something to write about. No, there's got to be something to write about. And I sit here and go like, oh, when was the last time an Asian took to the TARDIS? Oh, that was 26 years ago, and he was for 1 episode. And we've never had an Asian Doctor. And here's the thing, kids. It's not that I don't care when you have an Asian Doctor. I'm not pushing for it. If somebody is the right fit and they just happen to be Asian, go for it. That's all we're asking. And it's just like Hollywood has treated us like dirt for quite some time now. If you really think about it, if you look at our lineage and stuff like that, I'm just but I'm not complaining about it.
Yeah, but I do actually agree with you. If a group of people actually deserve to complain about something, Christian is absolutely right in what he just said there, because Asian people have been actually treated very badly on screen. Now, obviously, back in the day, and Christian will back me up on this, in the 50s and 60s, especially Doctor Who, there's a certain Doctor Who episode or story that gets slated because, it's being accused of being racists. And Obviously, Christian knows what I'm talking about. He knows the story. He actually loves the story. But fans keep going
It's my
after
favorite
that
episode.
seriously though, every year, Christian, there's someone always giving out about that story.
Well, they want to make a moniker of themselves. They want to they want to make a name. They want to put themselves out as a brand. I'm just like, what was it? The actress who says, and I won't say her name, but there's an actress out there that thinks like, there haven't been any female lead actresses in successful action movies. I'm like,
Oh, hold on. I'll say her name. Jennifer feckin' Lawrence. Right? And I actually find her hot, like, and she said that, and I was like, oh man, she's actually stupid. So her looks, and she's not as smart as I thought she was. Oh, no. No, man. Listen, that woman's ridiculous. I mean, to come out with a statement like that, I mean, you have to be stupid. I mean, you're literally forgetting about the great female leads that came before: Ellen Ripley, Sarah Connor.
I don't know.
Off the top of my head, you had Wonder Woman as well in TV. I mean, Bionic Woman. You had all of these leads. Get the boat, man. I'm sick of that rhetoric as well. Women that didn't get many roles back in the day either. Get away. Go back and watch the movies of the 30s, 40s, and 50s, right? Right? Most of those movies, right? They had their male stars and all of that. But some of these movies were led by women and they were absolutely brilliant. Actually, I think Hollywood has actually done it pretty all right when it came to female leads. To be honest with you. So I don't know what these celebrities, these younger celebrities like Jennifer Lawrence and Brie Larson and all of these other gobshites that keep coming out and saying, there's not enough spaces for women and all of this other rubbish. Get away out of that, will you? Get away out of that. There'll be nothing left for us. And you will say we kind of deserve it because the way men have treated women over. But we haven't treated just like that, though. That's the thing. It's the same with all of this stuff, right? I don't want to get into a big debate, right? But it's all this stuff about, paying back the African American community. Now I see the UK, some politician talking about, you should pay for your sins and all of that. I'm sorry, but none of us did that. None of us caused slavery, right? And if that's the case, we were under British rule for 800 years. Where's my money? I'm not asking for money. You move on. You learn from it. That's how you grow. You never make those mistakes again, right? So no.
I usually joke. I usually joke here in the States, and it's just like Monopoly. If you get on the railroad, you owe me. I'm just like, we want to get past this. This is really, I understand. Let's jump away from there. But I don't think Jennifer is stupid per se. I think she's ignorant and she doesn't know.
No, I don't mean stupid as in she's stupid. I just say stupid. That's just me being Irish. When I mean stupid, I don't mean she's actually really stupid. Of course, she wouldn't be where she is if she was stupid. But what I'm just trying to say, I think it was a stupid statement to make. I mean, come on, Jennifer. You really can't be that tick, man. I mean, you haven't seen cinema before, what, your generation? Come on.
Most people don't think that civil rights didn't start until 2016. So there you go. And it started somewhere on Twitter eventually. But moving on.
So there's another photo. Apparently, I'm doing robot voice, but there's another photo of the Doctor and Ruby Tuesday. And she's wearing big jewelry as well, like the Doctor.
Like I said, it looked like she's wearing something different now at this point, or at least she's put a coat on. I just think that something had happened. The Doctor sees it as tragic, and she's doing what normally the companions do. They try to balance out the Doctor and just say, "Hey, it's going to be all right. It's going to be fine." But it's when the Doctor sees something, we can't see it. But the Doctor can't be alone. He needs a companion to balance him out and bring him back to reality. That's why he can't be alone. It's the curse that he has. He can't be with somebody. He can't marry with somebody and stay with them. but he can't fly alone either. That's why he has the companions. That's why he has a Donna, a Rose, a Martha, um, everybody that's come along the lines down that my brain will not focus with. But it's it's really, we see the Doctor through the companion's eyes, and we are supposed to be the compassion, but he sees things deeper than we cannot see. Now, that might not even be relevant to those pictures. I'm just taking an assumption, but it is relevant to the character. Is he smoking a cigarette?
Yeah. Now, I wanted to actually just bring this up briefly. As I said, I'm not going to make a big deal out of this, right?
Yeah.
To a certain extent, I'm not. Right? I'm not trying to make a big deal out of it, but I just want to point out that Billy Piper smoked, and she gave up smoking. I wasn't seen smoking on set. Now, all I'm just going to say is this is not a good look for Shooty to be seen on set whether it's by a fan or not, right, smoking a cigarette, right? It's a family TV show, and I think we have to remember that. Now, as I said, I'm not going to be too harsh on him on this, but I think, from now on, he should be a little bit careful when he's having a cigarette. Maybe go somewhere out of sight and have his cigarette. I don't think he should be doing it if there's fans there watching the film and they're seeing him coming out of the house with a cigarette in his hand and smoke coming out of his mouth. I don't think it's a good look.
Well, even Tom knew the value of the character. Even when he was outside, walking around, he was never seen smoking or drinking or anything of that nature while he was in character, because he didn't want that to reflect on the kids. I know that he said something like that in a documentary somewhere.
Yeah, and William Hartnell was the same, because he was a heavy drinker and smoker, and around the kids. So we seen even a scene in an Adventure in Space and Time where he's smoking in the midst. Oh, there's the kids to throw your smoke. So I mean, I don't think it is. But as I said, I'm not going to make a big deal out of this. But I don't think he should be seen doing this again, and I hope he wises up and someone tells him, because there's a certain integrity that the character has, and he's playing that character. So he kind of, as well, he's being coursing as well. I don't think that's appropriate either. Even if he's putting up some video coursing, the character, the other actors got it. You have to you have to be seen to act a certain way, especially when if you're filming. You know what I mean? And you're in public. Don't smoke around the kids. Not a good look. But that's all I'm going to say on that, right?
That's right. And it may have been conditions that he thought nobody was looking. Then all of a sudden, click, oh, he's got a cigarette in his hand. I'm just like, well, yeah, that was something I know at least Tom Baker was trying to do. And I think he was a smoker and a drinker. Yeah. But he made sure he was not.
Same with Billy. Billy was a smoker as well, mate. And she gave up smoking.
Good for her.
She actually gave up smoking. And I still think to this day she doesn't smoke. So it actually did her a favor. But she did as well. Yeah, I do think, you do have to behave in a certain way, especially if you're the lead in this show. But as I said, I'm not going to make a big deal out of it, because you know what? He's entertained me as well with his little videos where he was singing and stuff like that. So as I said, I'm not going to be too harsh on him, because I honestly do believe he will be a great Doctor. And the more I see those photographs, Christian, the more convinced I am. He seems to have a acting range anyway. I don't know, but Christian, I think he's Doctor. But just looking at some of the photographs, let me know if you agree with me or not. But by looking at his photographs, I think he's going to be quite a fiery and emotional, maybe sometimes grumpy, angry Doctor.
I think that's the hardest part about any actor taking on this, is to have that range that you can convince the audience. One moment they're crying because they're laughing their butts off, and the next minute they're crying because they've suffered a really sad emotional scene. And that works in the world of Doctor Who, where, if you have an accomplished actor that can bring it both ways, it's fine. David Tennant was great at it. Tom Baker was great at it. Matt Smith was great. Matt Smith was awesome about it, and he had some good writing stuff that backed him up. Even Peter Capaldi was great at it, and even Christopher Eccleston. Jodie I had some issues with, but
I don't look at
that was
that's
a
my
surprise of
problem with
the
Jodie. I
writing.
don't
But
think Jodie had the acting range, mate.
I
I
think she
don't.
did, and she just
Yeah, I
wasn't
know
given
you
the
do.
direction.
You
But
actually think if she was under a different showrunner, you think we would have seen the best of her.
I
Do you
would
know?
even go to say if she had RTD bring her on,
Do you reckon?
we might be even talking about Jodie Whittaker to this day. I would argue
Yeah.
that comment. That's me.
No,
And
no, I'm not going to argue with you because, as I said, this is why I brought you on because I know that in some, you don't always agree. We don't always have the same opinions, I should say, as each other. And that's why I want to bring you on because you are one of these fans that believe if she had been under RTD or maybe someone else, we probably would have seen the best of Whittaker. Whereas I don't think anybody would have got the best out of Whittaker, to be quite
that
honest with you.
fair enough. And with what we saw the example of Chibnall, you're right. But I've also seen her in other movies. I saw her in Broadchurch. I saw her in Attack the Block, and I've seen her in a couple other short bits and things. And I'm saying, yeah,
I've
she
seen
actually
all them
has the
myself.
range, but nobody direction wise, and none of the writing gave her the course to say, you need to go dark, you need to go deeper, stop doing the shruggy face, which you're famous for, which and really hit deep.
Daniel used to call that the scrunch face. The scrunch face. Yeah.
If I think she can do it. That's just me, but we're past that. I see that Shooty can do it if given proper direction, which I think Russell T will give him, and he's got the writing, and now we got the Murray Gold music back.
That's what I was coming on to that. So yes, we have to talk about Murray Gold, and I know again I spoke about this with Charlotte and PD, but I didn't with I have to stop doing that actually on New Who, talking about these topics because I'm supposed to leave them till Friday, but you're obviously gonna get Christian's take on it, so obviously you're gonna be hearing another opinion on it. But we do have to talk about, so it's confirmed not only is he back for the 60th, but he's back for the long haul. Now, is that good news, bad news in your opinion? Are you glad? Obviously you're glad, like every fan is, to see him back, because I think universally out there, I think there's been nothing but a positive reaction to this announcement anyway. I don't think anybody out there has had a bad word to say. I haven't seen any negative comments on Murray Gold's return.
I've seen a couple, but they're not even. They don't address as to why, so I just skip them.
Yeah,
there's like somebody mentioned. Well, that was, that was expected, kind of deal.
Well, it kind of was. As soon as RTD was announced, I think everybody, as soon as he brought David Tennant and Catherine Tate back, I think a lot of fans were already nailed on that he was going to return.
But yeah, and I forgot who somebody put the name in the comments. That'd be great. The gentleman who took over from Murray to do Jodie's run.
Sigmund Aquinola is his name. Sigmund Aquinola. Yeah, it was all drums and
if I walked into a mall or a place and there was a Murray Gold soundtrack from Doctor Who, way back when, I could not only identify it, I could tell you the episode, who was in it, and what series, and everything. I could tell you, that this was
because he had a unique style for each episode, and every Doctor had their own theme as well, didn't they, Christian? And you're right. His music is, and it is unique to the RTD era. I know he stayed on with Moffat, but I think his best music, in my opinion, came in those first 4 seasons and the specials under RTD. I think that's where we got the best of the Murray Gold music. I don't know if you agree. You might disagree and think he was great throughout. But for me personally, I think those first 4 series, he was on top of his game.
He was brilliant because it wasn't like with I can't pronounce his name. If you were to play his music, if you were to play his music, first of all, I couldn't identify it. Second of all, it sounded like it was kind of redundant. It was
Yeah,
soap opera music.
yeah.
It was kind of just downplayed, and sometimes he did kick it up. But I also say, it's like following up Tom Baker for Peter Davison. That's a really hard act to
Mm,
follow. That is really a tremendous act. So to go from Tom Baker to Peter Davison in the essence of music, composers, that's a really hard act to follow. And I wouldn't want to be in his shoes because that's the only comparison he's got besides,
yeah.
the music makers of the 80s, like Dominic Lynn and all those guys. It's a hard act to follow. So when he's back, I'm just like, oh, we have so much eclectic, for a better term, when it comes to Murray Gold. He is the gold standard. He really matches music, and it's very, very diverse, for a better term, because
Mm.
it's different. And not only that, he wrote the Doctor song, and every time I hear the Doctor's theme, not the theme song, the Doctor's theme, I don't know if any Whovian doesn't get little couple pangs in the heart that they hear that, whether it's a woman going "Ooh," or if it's a full ensemble orchestra playing that song. It really hits hard, and I think that's one of my favorite songs to listen to from
Oh,
Doctor
Doctor
Who.
Who at
It's
the
a Doctor
proms
Who's,
used to be bleeding brilliant.
yeah.
Do you remember that? Doctor on BBC proms, they did Doctor Who, and you'd have the full orchestra there, and you're right, man. Every time they played that theme, you would get literally goosebumps. I mean, I am delighted that he's back. I just, Charlotte did make the point though, he's bringing back obviously Murray. He's brought back some other people as well. We hope he doesn't get into the kind of, you know, we don't want too many member berries sort of thing. That sort of way. As I was saying, Star Trek Picard season 3 did it perfectly. But they got the balance right. I just fear he's bringing all the great, basically bringing back the greatest hits, and
He might. I
maybe
mean,
we won't.
in the final season of Capaldi's, you started hearing some more of the familiar music come back.
Mm,
And I got to confess, out of all the series, Capaldi's theme, I do like it, but it's not one of my favorites.
yeah,
And that's when I started saying, I think Murray Gold is, because it had that, what I call that, I don't know if you know that instrument where they take a saw and they take like something and rub up against it. That's what it
mm,
sounded like. I was like, oh, I hate that noise. But he's had some time off. He's had some time to think about it. And he's going to come in fresh. I'm sure he's going to come in with some new dynamic, because every time the theme changed, whether it be from 10 to 11 to 12, there at least was a new theme to it. And I liked his version, because I always say that the Doctor Who theme is a war cry to the Whovians. This is the
yeah,
theme that just dun 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 dun. You're gonna get
yeah.
excited because you're hearing the theme and this no Doctor Who episode. So that's what I feel. Right. Dun, 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 dun. So that song really just gets the Whovians going.
My favorite theme though is Series 4's theme that he does, because he adds an extra bit of bass to it,
Mhm.
and it really, that is still to this day, part of the classic obviously ones, right? Music,
Yeah.
but my favorite New Who theme is season 4's one. It's just brilliant. I love it. It gives me goosebumps. I just can't wait to see. He'll use the Series 4 theme for the 60th, definitely. Because they did, for when they were showing something, they used that actual theme, and I thought, well, they're going to use that for the 60th. Be very interesting to see what he does for Shooty's theme. His opening sequence, and the theme tune. It's going to be very, because I didn't like the Whittaker one. I didn't like Sigwin Aquinola's version of the theme. It just didn't sound right to me.
But
But maybe it's because we were spoiled with Murray Gold's ones. But see, that's the thing. We were spoiled. Murray Gold has literally given us great themes.
Well, I think that's what I think it's. Yeah, we were spoiled with Murray Gold. That's the truth. But I think Suga was trying to emulate what like the first Doctor theme, and it's it didn't work out too well. It was, and it's like I think he's he's a soap opera musician as far as, and then I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I'm just saying there seems to be a style when you listen to soap opera. It's more passive, it's more down low. It tries to get the effect of the feels as the actors are trying to talk with each other. And when you have a Doctor Who theme, it's got to be I'm coming in. It's almost got to be like the WWE that you see here in the States. They walk in, there's a theme. Here comes the wrestler walking down the ramp. It's got to be like, it's got to charge everybody up. If not, I'm just okay.
That's what I mean. That's what gets you excited when Doctor Who, when the announcer announces that Doctor Who is back, and then as soon as that open sequence, that's it. That's what that's the most crucial moment in my opinion. If that theme tune doesn't, if that theme tune doesn't grab you straight away, and that's what happened with me with Matt Smith's one. I wasn't really a fan of Matt Smith's one. Now I have to admit that over the years now I've grown to love it, but I didn't like that at first, and I was completely off. I thought, nah, this is not right. This theme is not right. It's not. What's Murray done? I was like, I wasn't pleased with that one. But it's obviously now while we watched Matt Smith on the channel again, and obviously while we were watching his era, the theme tune was coming, and I thought, do you know what? It's not as bad as I remember. It actually now I can get what he was trying to do with it. But it just felt off at the time back when we were watching live. But yeah, Murray Gold coming back, I think, is probably the best announcement of 2023.
And Brisk, I mean, I do kind of, I see what he's doing, but he's in his element. If you listen to all of his music, for the most part,
that's his style.
That's his style. That's not good or bad on the sense of that. It's just that it
didn't fit Doctor Who.
It's like Chibnall. He works in drama. He doesn't work in sci-fi.
Yeah. Aquinola would work with, as you said, with dramas and stuff like that, but not sci-fi. I don't think I don't think his music or his style suits sci-fi. Would that be fair?
Yeah, or at least that's our opinion on that. Like I said, it's nothing that he's a bad musician. He's had some good stuff in there, but comparatively with his predecessor Murray Gold, that's a hard act to follow. Trust me, that's an incredibly. I put Murray Gold on a personal level up with John Williams.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding, because he is just every episode, just like John Williams.
I just copped on to what you said there. You're comparing them to the composer that did the Superman theme.
Yes.
John Williams.
I meant and
Indiana Jones.
Right, because if you listen to John Williams' music, you can not only identify what movie theme it is, where it comes from, practically what scene if you start playing, Star Wars theme, this is the Death Star scene. There's always that hit, and it's always
in those terms, yes. Now I get what you're saying.
It's always eclectic, and it's always something you can familiarize with at any condition. If a theme like in scene 5 of the first movie, you hear that music, that's John Williams, and this is the scene. I'm putting him in that range because it's the same thing. And if you were to hear some piece from Star Wars, it's not going to be the same as Indy. It's not going to be the same as Close Encounters of the Third Kind. There's going to be some varying difference, but you can identify the movie and, that came from that movie. Yeah, that makes sense. I remember that. In the same way that Murray Gold commands Doctor Who, he commands not only the scene, but it's eclectic. The music in one episode is never... There might be some variances, and of course he used a lot of the Doctor Who theme.
Yeah, he did reuse some stuff, but he always added to it though. That's the thing about it. He'd add something new to it though. And I suppose that was one way of keeping it.
No, I gotta run, brother. But
I know you do. So do your channel shout outs. We're gonna wrap it up there anyway, because that's all the news we have for you this week, folks.
The Legend of the Traveling Tardis, Facebook.com, The Traveling Tardis. We're almost up to 68,000 folks. Thank you so much for helping us. We're halfway there as far as we're at like 675. Subscribe youtube.com/The Legend of the Traveling Tardis. We're putting out a video day short almost every day, or at least as when I can put one out there. Plus exclusive stuff. Simon Fisher Becker, who played Dorian Moldavar, he's on it. And sometimes he comes up and joins us on panels, but he has a special section called Sci-Fi Blog. And tonight at 10:30 will be a premiere of another episode of his, where he speaks his mind on sci-fi and situations out there. It's only exclusively on our YouTube channel, as well as some other stuff that you won't be able to find anywhere else, on our Facebook page at times. We're also on TikTok. You can just find the Traveling TARDIS. But gotta go, guys. Thank you so much. Please take care of yourselves.
No problem, Christian. Thanks for popping on again, and I'll see you next week, pal.
You got it, brother. Thank you.
Okay, I'll be back tonight, folks, 9 o'clock for Friday Night Contact. So come and join me. We're going to be talking a little bit about more reboots in the work. We're going to be talking about the Flash trailer, because a new trailer, Michael Keaton heavy trailer, might I add. Aquaman 2's trailer was also released, and some idiot at DC thought it was a good idea to get Amber Heard to narrate the trailer. So we'll be talking about that as well, and other topics. There's not much actually going on this week. Also, if Chris is on with us tonight, we will be talking a little bit about the end of season 3 of Picard, because, as you know, Chris couldn't make it last week because work got in the way. So hopefully he's here tonight, and we will be talking a little bit about Picard as well, and we'll see if the guys want to make some comments on the Jinx Monsoon stuff that I didn't want to bring up on this stream. Maybe we won't bring up the Jinx Monsoon stuff because it is highly controversial, but we will see. Anyway, I am working on a little video to throw up on the channel, just in case anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about. Look out for that. It's going to be a little slideshow video that I'm going to throw up later on for you guys. So yeah, as I said, check that out. And as well, I'll be getting the trailers ready for our Heaven Sent watch along next week. The Thing King has sent me the audios, so all I have to do now is just edit a trailer together for those. So look out for those as well. So yeah, as I said, tonight 9 o'clock, join us for all things Hollywood, and we will be talking, as I said, about a couple of movies that are being made. One in particular is going to surprise you, but it just goes to show you how ridiculous Hollywood has become. So 9 o'clock tonight. So that is what we're at 7 now. We're coming up to 7 o'clock. So it's from 2 hours from now, folks. 2 hours from now, we will be live Friday Night Contact. So come and join us for that. I want to thank everybody in the chat. We have Brisk in the chat, just to give you a shout out before we leave. We had Brisk in the chat. We had Bobby D75 in the chat. We have the Warped Eyebrow in the chat. As I said, come and join us 9 o'clock. We the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, who said hello to people in the chat as well. And Garbage was also in the chat. So I want to thank all of you guys for joining us in the chat. We really do appreciate you taking part. Our new Who streams discussions are full watch-alongs. No, they're the full watch-alongs. So if you want to come and join us for those, Brisk, that's Monday. We do them, and we're on Heaven Sent, probably Moffat's finest episode, finest story, if not one of the top stories in Doctor Who ever. Heaven Sent is on Monday, so come and join us for that. So until 9 o'clock, 2 hours from now, folks, I will see you very, very soon. Thanks to my co-host for joining me as well, the Chris from the Legend of the Traveling Tardis. Go and check out their channel. Go and check out Scottish Stavros and Friends, Wrestle with Pop Culture, Gobby Guy, and Dan, the Space Book. Oh, yes, that is one more thing, though, I did want to live with before we go. I forgot to do this. I totally forgot. So as you know, I did a poll, and I want to show you the result of the poll, because the poll is well, let's just say the poll is a bit eye opening. So just bear with me. I forgot about this poll. Yeah, I wanted to show you this poll. Oh yeah, I didn't want to. I'll probably be doing a separate stream on this, but there's controversy over the latest Doctor Who magazine from the usual suspects. They're not happy because a doctor, the doctor that's going to be featuring in the 60th anniversary happens to be on the cover. Some have even went as far as to say that the Doctor Who magazine is now done and it should be renamed Doctor Whittaker magazine. They even have the date of when the magazine started, and 2023 RIP, and basically to say that this the new magazine in 2023 is it's actually ridiculous and funny. They're giving out because a doctor is on the front of the magazine that's actually going to be in the next time we actually see the show. So that's actually funny. It's they've no arguments anymore. That's just being petty. Where is this now bleeding poll? Can't be down this far. Come on. Let me see. Let me see. Where's the result? Where's the result? Where's the result? Where's the result? Just bear with me. The reason why I want to show you this is because I found this very, very interesting. Now, I got everybody to try and share it as much as possible. And we got over 300 votes on it. So that's why I want to show you what the result is, because, it's very interesting. It's very interesting. So, where is it? I can't believe it's down this far. I mean, it's because my computer is slow as well, folks. So it's taking me a lot longer to scroll down. But just bear with me. Where is it? Come on. God's sake. Where the hell is this, man? Just bear with me. Just give us a second. I know this is a pain, but I really want to show you this poll. Do you feel the power? Where is this poll? It can't. Are you varied? It can't be all the way. I'm still scrolling, guys. I'm still scrolling. Like, seriously, I'm actually still scrolling. Oh, here it is. About bloody time. Wow. Right. Interesting result coming up in this poll. The reason why I say interesting is because, well, you'll see it. You'll see it. Could the computer just stop messing, please? JWC Reviews is in the chat as we're about to leave, but we are live again at 9 o'clock. So if you want to join us, you're more than welcome. And we'll see you in the chat. So I asked this question on my poll. Do you think RTD has the best intentions for Doctor Who? And as you can see there, 17% said no. 30.5% said don't care, I'm done. And 52.4% said yes. And there was 370 votes. It was viewed over 4,328 times. It's just a pity that those views didn't turn into votes, to be quite honest with you. But there you go. So I got everybody to try and retweet it. I didn't try manipulate the result in any way or ask people to vote a certain way. All I asked people was the RT for a fair result. And you will see there, can anyone left a comment RT at the poll. So I made it very clear I wanted people to RT the poll. So yeah, there you go. So over half of the people that voted in my poll are still, even after everything that's happened so far, are still believe that RTD has the best intentions for Doctor Who. And let's hope that 52% are right, because that's what we want. Because if it does happen, then it means the show is back. And let's hope that that is the case. So I'm definitely gone now. So enjoy your evening. And I'll see you in a couple of hours, 9 o'clock, for the Tardis for Friday Night Contact. So I will see yous all later. Have a good one, folks. Enjoy yous our weekend. If I don't see yous tonight, because remember, tonight is the last stream that we do until Monday. So if I don't see yous in the chat tonight, I will talk to yous all on Monday. Enjoy yous our weekend. Stay safe. Look after yourselves. And if you have a nice weather right now, enjoy it. Bye-bye.
Thank you.